I'm Hsinchu with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan continues to feel the aftereffect from the largest typhoon to hit the country in nearly a decade. The Coast Guard is still searching for 4 sailors after the storm sank a freighter and grounded 8 other ships. Meanwhile, strong winds left thousands of tourists stranded on the outlying island of Gymnast. Anger mounted at the island's airport, with one passenger throwing a chair at a check-in staff. One staff member was injured. The military is now helping rescue stranded people. Typhoon Gaemi has isolated rural mountain communities and flooded coastal towns in southern Taiwan. Days after the storm passed through the region, residents are still coming to grips with the damage. Wesley Lewis has the details.
A mountain road washed away as southern Taiwan reels from destruction left by Typhoon Gaemi. Several communities in the mountains of Chiayi County have been completely cut off from the outside world, and residents have been without power for 4 days.
那经勘测过程又九甲线螺船寸断光华隧道有中断，然后中断内容也有发现部分坍方了。
Police and first responders have been working to reopen blocked roads, and in the meantime, they've been delivering essential aid to stranded residents via temporary dirt roads. Meanwhile, coastal communities in Chiayi are dealing with persistent flooding, like at this elementary school. Days of torrential rain have also harmed the area's oyster farms. And local fisheries are reporting major losses.
在海面上养殖的浮筏式蚵棚大概有8000棚，那平挂式牡蛎大概也有300公顷，那都受到全毁或半毁，还是说科条科串牡蛎掉落的这样子一个损害情形。那目前估计损失达到1亿6200万。
Apart from financial losses, the flooding has also caused deadly accidents. One man here died after falling into a ditch while pushing a stranded car. While the flooding subsides here in Chiayi, it's beginning to reveal the deeper extent of the damage. Devin Tai and Wesley Lewis for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's Premier Judoka has vowed full support for the repair of a key highway in a visit to typhoon-hit areas in the country's east coast.
这条东部安全回家的路，我们欠花莲的乡亲很多次，所以我们这一次尽快补起来。欠花莲乡亲了那么多次，我们未来我们整条线再来做一个新的想法。
The Suhua Highway was cut off by a landslide triggered by last week's typhoon, severing transportation links between eastern Taiwan and the rest of the country. The area has become more prone to landslides since a massive earthquake hit Hualien in April. The Transportation Ministry says they expect the highway to be restored within the next few days. Forecasters are now warning that Taiwan could be in for more extreme weather. An area of low pressure is currently forming east of the Philippines.
目前的话，台湾附近这边的风险是比较大一点，所以它在逐渐靠近台湾的过程当中是有机会再稍微增强一点，是不排除有机会来到热带型地区啊。那要再进一步增强的空间，目前来看是比较有限。
It comes as Taiwan begins to count the cost of Typhoon Gaemi. The government says agricultural losses alone amount to more than $50 million. The Interior Ministry says Hsinchu Mayor Gov't will not receive half her salary while she's suspended from her position. Gao was convicted for embezzling more than $14,000 in public funds through fraudulent payroll and overtime schemes during her tenure. She's been sentenced to more than 7 years in prison and stripped of her civil rights. Hsinchu City's Deputy Mayor Cho Chen-yuan is to take over Gao's duties. 12 people are dead after a rocket hit a football pitch in the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has accused the militant group Hezbollah, but the group denies responsibility. As Rick Lau reports, the violence threatens to bring tensions in the Middle East to a boiling point.
Air raid sirens blare as rockets soar over the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights. It's a warning that came too late for at least 12 children and young adults killed by a rocket strike on a football pitch.
طبعا مع كثافة الناس والأعداد كانت الإصابة كثير بشعة والإروع كان وصف لا يوصف من الحدث اللي صار.
Islamist militant group Hezbollah, based in neighbouring Lebanon, says it was not behind the attack. But Israel is blaming the group and has vowed to respond.
This tragic national tragedy was caused because of Hezbollah, the terror organization that fired a rocket here to this field. Our forensic team has made it clear. This rocket was a rocket called Falak 1. It is manufactured in Iran. It is delivered to Hezbollah. Hezbollah is the only terror organization in Lebanon that holds Falak 1.
And Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he'll return early from his trip to the US to handle the situation.
מאז שהותקנתי באסון אני מקיים התייעצויות ביטחוניות רצופות. הנחיתי להקדים את שובנו לארץ. אני אכנס מיד את הקבינט הביטחוני עם הגעתי. אני יכול להגיד שמדינת ישראל לא תעבור על כך בשתיקה.
The bloodshed sharply escalates hostility between the two heavily armed foes that have been increasingly clashing alongside the war in Gaza. And it's been raising fears of a full-blown conflict between US-backed Israel and Iran-backed Hezbollah, widening an already bloody conflict in the Middle East. The United Nations is calling for maximum restraint. The strike is the deadliest incident in Israeli-occupied territory since the Palestinian militant group Hamas launched an attack across the border from Gaza in October. Israel's retaliation has left nearly 40,000 Palestinians dead, according to the Palestinian Health Authority. Just hours before the rockets fell on the Golan Heights, an Israeli airstrike killed 30 people sheltering in a school in Gaza.
نجري بالشوارع بهدومنا مش عارفين وين نروح وين نقعد فيش مكان آمن بيقولوا لنا روحوا شرق روحوا غرب روحوا هان ومش عارفين وين ما نروح لا خيام آمنة ولا مدارس آمنة ولا دور آمنة وين بدنا نروح.
Hezbollah has links with Hamas and sees itself as an ally in a fight to regain what they see as a stolen Palestinian homeland. Israel maintains it will defend itself against neighbouring Arab groups which want to see its destruction. This area of the Golan Heights, home to the Druze Arab minority, has been occupied by Israel for nearly 60 years. It's now the latest, but almost certainly not the last, community in the increasingly volatile region to be shattered by violence. Klein Wang and Rick Lowett for TaiwanPlus.
The defense ministers of the US, Japan, and South Korea have signed a pact to enhance security ties between the three countries. The treaty was signed at a meeting in Tokyo as tensions continue to escalate in the South China Sea. It also follows the recent signing of a military pact between Russia and North Korea. More meetings will be scheduled as the US seeks to reassure allies in Asia that it will remain an Indo-Pacific power. Olympic organizers have issued a deep apology for mistakenly introducing South Korea as North Korea at the opening ceremony in Paris. The ceremony saw athletes from all nations wave to crowd from boats on the River Seine. As the South Korean team passed, they were introduced as the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, the official name of North Korea. The mistake was made in both French and English. South Korea's sports ministry said it plans to file a complaint with the French government. It's also demanded a meeting with the head of the International Olympic Committee.
저희는 이런 문제는 생기리라고는 전혀 예측을 못했어요. 왜냐하면 이게 명칭을 국가의 명칭을 부르는 게 이 잘못들이라고는 꿈에도 생각을 못했습니다.
On the first day of competition in the Paris Olympics, Taiwan's top judoka Yang Yongwei missed out on bronze in the men's under 60 kilogram event. The Tokyo Olympics silver medalist was defeated by Japan's Ryuji Nagayama on Saturday, losing 0-1 in the repechage. Meanwhile, gymnast Chia-hung scored 14.9 points in the men's horizontal bar qualifying heat and advanced to the finals. He is set to compete again on August 5th. While Chia-hung was preparing for the Games, reporter Leslie Liao went to meet him at one of his training centers in Taipei and brings us this report.
Swinging from a horizontal bar, flipping, turning, and performing stunts mid-air is already hard enough. But to be one of the best at it in the entire world is another thing entirely.
我是唐家宏， 那我是台湾体操单杠选手，那我的绰号是猫王。
Dexterous, agile, and with cat-like precision. That's how Tang Chia-hung gets his nickname. He's a world-class gymnast.
国际上他的单杠呼声特别高，就是因为他的整套编排变化性最大，就是Chia-hung。
Tang is a gold medalist at both the Asian Games and the Summer Universiade. But now he has his sights set on the Paris 2024 Olympics. He's qualified for the Games and he's raring to go.
也就是我希望可以把平常就是在家里训练的整套实力可以呈现给全世界看，然后也让全世界知道说台湾有一个很顶尖的单杠选手。
Tang has dedicated his career in part to showing Taiwan to the world.
也希望大家可以借由我认识到台湾，认识到台湾体操。那台湾是一个非常好的地方。
Tang's journey began when he was in kindergarten. He was diagnosed with mild ADHD, and his father turned him to gymnastics as an outlet.
体操一直以来都是我快乐的一个根源。从小开始接触体操跟训练，其实都是可能体操带给我的快乐，训练新动作啊。那从失败中学习。老师，我觉得可以先不要接，就是反正就练爬。
Tang has been a gymnast his entire life and has excelled at it, but his impressive feats came at a price. By the time he got into college, he'd had elbow surgery 3 times. He's also gone under the knife for wrist and Achilles tendon injuries.
刚开始面对受伤或者是开刀，其实真的是心里会害怕，会怕回不到场上，或者是真的觉得自己不行了或者怎么样。但是我觉得对于体操热爱的初衷，我觉得这是让我坚持下来的动力。
这样子很好，这样子很好。
Even so, Tang and his coach aren't taking any risks as they train for Paris. To reduce the odds of injury, Tang doesn't land on his feet to finish his practice routine. Instead, he finishes each maneuver by slamming down onto a gym mat, letting his body absorb the impact of his fall. Over the course of training, this happens over and over and over again. Tang's sacrifice and caution have paid off. He's already won 3 gold medals at the International Gymnastics Federation's World Cup events so far this year. He and his coach hope to carry this momentum all the way to the top of the Olympic podium.
其实，在以赛代训的这种训练模式下，其实对于我身体实力，包括身体机能、整个能力提升的方面，有很大的经验值加倍这样子。
His coach has full faith in him.
以冠军为主下去锁定了，那看现在到底缺什么，就赶快补，因为他潜力我觉得是很够。到时候希望决赛票要买。
Tang Chia-hung can pull his body weight into the air like it weighs nothing. He makes it look so effortless. But as is the case with Tang, nothing is as easy as it seems. Behind his success is a relentless desire to win at the highest level, and he'll do what it takes to get there, diving face first into his challenges. Howard Zhang and Leslie Liao for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, check out the 10th annual Blue Summer Paddle Race in Algeria. I'm Sandy Chi, take care and see you next time.
For more news from Taiwan and around the world, go to TaiwanPlus.com and download the TaiwanPlus app.